They call this one twist and shout. It's something to shout about because we have, on Musically Speaking, for the second time in 2 weeks, the man I call Lowell the Great, the one and only Lowell Sly Dunbar. Twist and shout. Sly, there's a story behind this song. Can you bring us up to date about that? Because a number of people did recordings of this song. It wasn't an original, but there is something special about this version. Lowell the
All right.
Great.
This version, the song was, I heard the song in the elevator. I was in New York. And I said, well, Robbie, probably put the version of this song. So we came to Jamaica mixing up. So we started cutting tracks. So we were thinking of Jack Radix. And immediately, Jack Radix walked into the studio. I said, okay, great. So cut the track. Jack Radix said, liked it. Bam Bam put his vocal on. We called a bunch of DJs to come on the song. Nobody could really group the song. I said, we have to call Shaka Demus. So I called Shaka. He put this part on like in 10 minutes. I said, well, wicked. Sent it to London. London said, this is a number one record, but we can't put it out without Pliers on it. I said, okay. So the part in the song where Pliers sang, it's supposed to be an on section, supposed to go right there. So I said, forget the on section. Pliers sing anything you want to sing. Because they said, this is a number one record. Pliers sang his part. Send it back to London. London said, fine, this is a number one record. So about this record now, the Isley Brothers did a version of it. The Beatles did a version. The Beatles version peaked at number 4. The Brothers didn't go to number 1. Shaka Demus entered the chart and played at number 4 and went to number 1 the January. So a lot of people don't know the history of this record. So this is a big, big record. And I was in London, I seen this record selling like 100,000 people ordering record. Like I've never seen a record order like this before. On the telephone, 200,000, 300,000, just like that.
Tell us a little bit more about your work with Shaka Demus and Pliers, Sly. Some of
Well, Shaka Demus is a person. I had a studio, a little studio by Sonic Sound, and that's where we cut Murder Show. And Shaka used to come every year and say, boy, I want that tune, I said, so many tunes for your money. Everything pass. Boss, you ready? So when I finished making Murder Show, man, Gits, I said to Jason, call Shaka. So he came in the Friday event and said, boss, he come and said, yeah, man. And said, boy, I can't make a singer, I said, can't anybody want to so I bring Pliers. So no problem. So I start singing a song. So I said, great. So I push the red light button because I learned once the artist anybody go for them, I go push that recording button. And I start singing. So he said, that's good. So I say, sure, Bob. I said, everything is all right. So I was singing Murder, She Wrote. So I said to him, Bam Bam, sing Bam Bam, the girl song. And he started singing record Bam Bam immediately. He said, that's great. They show, I said, yeah, man. And they went home, mixed it myself. It's Saturday because I mixed Murder Short and everything. I recorded vocal, mixed it myself, and sent it to London. London said, this is gone. Sure, it's on. I said, really? Why? They said, it's just gone. So Murder Short was like, but the history of the Murder Short when they did it, I was looking at them coming out. It was festival time, and I was looking back at the old dances. So go back to Twist and Shout. So Twist and Shout went to number 1 in England for 2 weeks. But the album, All She Wrote, I entered the album chart. I think Shaka Demus and Bob Marley are the one who had the album entered the British album chart. And then they took the album off and they put Twist and Shout on the card. Twist and Shout wasn't on the album, Twist and Shout is a single for Sly and Robbie featuring Jack Radix. But the guy in London said, no, we have to push Shaka because Shaka and Demus was really hot, burning up the charts. I've been teasing me on all this, I'm trying to the charts. She don't let nobody and everything. So I said, no problem, man. We went to number 1. The single went to number 1.
This was about 1993, Sly. That's around about that time.
I think so. And then the album itself went back on the chart and went right to number 1. So they had a number 1 album in England and number 1 single. A lot of things people don't know because we need somebody to kind of love these things so people can know who these artists are and what they represent,
No, because the thing is that there are so many achievements, outstanding accomplishments that are not well known. And, because talking with FX, you heard how many times he referenced you. I mean, in terms of just the contribution you have made. And I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it is really just out of the proper way of attributing and referencing somebody who is truly great and outstanding. And this is part of our problem because so much of our history, I mean, is lost to us because we don't pay attention to what is happening. And we must remember that it's not only the new things that we're creating that are of value, but even the story that you're giving here, Sly, are of immense value. When somebody can hear some of these things from Sly Dunbar's mouth, I mean, you can't get better than that, you know. And I think we have to pay a little bit more attention to this kind of thing.
The thing is about music, you learn it every day, right? And John Effect made some serious point, and he's right. I mean, and all things that he said, right? And when you talk about mixing, right? I learned from a longer time to when you're recording that song, record it the way you think it should sound on the tape. Get the best sound you can get on the tape. That any engineer who picks up that tape to mix the song, the sound on the tape is very good for him. So all he has to do sometimes is just balance. He doesn't have to touch anything. But some of the time our engineer is waiting on the mix to make it in the mix. Sometimes it doesn't make it in the mix. It doesn't make it sometimes in the recording, going down from Jump Street. And I've learned that over the years. And even we went to Nassau to record Grace.
With Stephen Stanley you worked closely with him
yeah, man. Stephen Stanley has been from Jamaica, from my youth and everything. I went to Nassau to work with Alex Atkin, and the first song we did before Grace was a song called Warm Leather Red, and it was one cut. And when he came back, listened to the playback. Chris said, that's great. I went to the next tune, and the next one, everything is one cut, Private Life, all of these songs. But I was just still trying to get the best sound on tape. So when the engineer take that record to mix the record, he has a great sound in the song already. But if there's not a great sound on the record, then he has to work hard enough. And sometimes he might not get it right. It could be the god of engineer. He can make mistakes too.
Now, one of the people you worked with at Compass Point, I mean, was Grace Jones. Now,
Yeah.
that is something
Amazing
special
Grace.
because
Yeah.
you guys created some amazing music with Grace Jones. And it's interesting that Grace Jones is back in the forefront of the music with Beyonce and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
doing music. And people this is somebody whose influence as far as modern popular culture we don't
Yeah.
even begin to explore because
Yeah.
so many people, whether it be Madonna, whether it be Bowie, you name it, these people have been influenced by Grace Jones. But before we talk more about Grace, let's just hear one of them from one of the productions that you guys did at Compass Point. The unmistakable drumming of Lowell Dunbar.
History about this record, too, you know.
Pull up to my bumper. Huh?
Yeah,
What a song. Pull up to the bumper.
There's a history about this record. So, this is a song that I put together with different lyrics. I wrote it. So I remember I went into the studio to cut the track, and I said, Alex, I have a song, you know. And he said, go ahead and cut it, Clyde.
That's
so
Alex Satkin.
Yeah, and he said,
this is the guy who did I Want to Know What Love Is with Foreigner, right?
Yeah, yes. So I said, well, I was going to sing the song because Grace doesn't know the song yet. So he said, okay, it's like, we're going to give you a microphone. You're going to sit behind the drum and play and then sing so the musicians can learn the song. So actually, the original word for this song is called Peanut Butter. Spread yourself over me like peanut butter. So, so my voice is on the tape, singing and playing to everybody learn the sound. Or master tape, my voice is on there. So after like, it was done in the first year when I went to Nassau. It never came out that time. So it came out as an instrumental song called Peanut Butter, the rhythm alone by itself. And another thing, Junior Tucker was supposed to sing the song. And I always came back to Jamaica. So we went back to Nassau the following year. Grace was in there crying, I want to read him. I want to read him because she hears playing the rhythm. I want to read him. I'm going to Chris Ryan and tell him that I want to read him. So they said, okay, no problem, Grace. So it was made for you. So I think this girl named Dana Manor came in and heard that I was singing about like spread yourself over me like peanut butter. And I said, pull up to your bumper, which kind of mean the same kind of thing. So they kind of rewrote the lyrics so much, Grace. So I was on tour with Blackmore and I get a call from Chris and say, remember the song you wrote for Grace? I said, which song is that? Said, oh, it's going to be a big hit, you know? So it came out and this is our it is an identification card. When she pull this, nothing can go wrong. And there's another song I've written for current one, Nipple to the Buckle, those two songs.
But what was it like working with Grace? Because she's quite
with Grace it was cool because I think she felt so comfortable working with Jamaicans. I know that she's home, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And with Chris Blackwell there, Alice Sack and Stephen Stanley, bunch of Jamaican around her. She think I think she tell herself nothing can't go wrong with me. I'm home sweet home, you know.
No.
And good for
but there were so many other hits like a classic like My Jamaican Guy, which came out. Huh?
She wrote that one.
Yeah, but I mean these are just mind blowing tracks. I mean,
she just started singing like Jamaican, like My Jamaican Guy. And we say, well, that's like so like Kumina, you know.
And so you start putting.
Yeah. So when she say Wally, keyboard player Wally, but it's sure. So I started and she was there. Everybody started moving and grooving, and we play for a while. While Robbie started getting involved, and so went to the bridge and said, yeah man, and we run it for a couple of hours, boy, this is it, you know. And then when they cut the track, I said, wow, it's a killer. And then went in and over up some electronic drum straight and while they did some other things, and you know, it was magic, you know.
I'm going to talk to you about another female artist who you worked with also at Compass Point. We're talking about Gwen Guthrie.
Gwen is a killer, man. I mean, we met when we were doing Bush Doctor album for Peter in New York, and we needed some backing vocals. Robbie, myself, and Peter was there, and Herbie. And we were trying to contact
Herbie Miller, you're talking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they recommend Gwen and some other people to us, and we turned friends. So we had done a song in Nassau called a version of the Arbor and People song called Don't Stop the Music. But we put it under the name, myself and Tyrone Downey, we put it under the name of Bits and Pieces. I was doing the rapping, and Tyrone singing the chorus and Robbie, and the record took off like in the R&B chart. And I said, wow, that we were on tour, we did it for fun. And then I said, wow, I said to Robbie, you know, like, I think we probably have to do an album. So let's start going to do the main vocal on it. And so we went to Peter in Germany. I said, boy, I'll leave Peter bad now, you know. And we'll make the Nassau go make some record. The future is in recording. So we leave Peter and tell him to again quit and just fly to Nassau, call when she come in and Daryl, the guitar player, came down. So he said he had a song called Should Have Been You. I said, let me hear it. So Should have been you. I said, well, that's a hit, man. I said, when there are some, so this is one of the songs we're going to cut on. Everybody was there. Stevenson was the engineer. So we did one night and cut all rhythm tracks one night in Nassau. And Should Have Been You, I think, was the main song. And when Chris flew in from England and came to say, I want to hear what we're working on. And we played the Gwen Culture stuff. And I said, well, it's great. And then he signed her to Island Records. So Should Have Been You was the first single, smashing single for her. But a very good singer, man.
But she was also a great songwriter too.
Yeah. Yes, because I wrote a couple songs for her too. But she's a great songwriter. I wrote a song like "Your Turn to Burn," "Come On, Come Turn Me On," and some other stuff.
And you played on one of, I mean, her real smash. Ain't nothing going on but the rent.
The Rent. All right. I think I was coming from the Grammy. Somewhere I was coming from. So I had these two Roland drum machines in my suitcase because they were small. So I called her and, said she's working on an album and I was finished. So she come over and listen to the album. So I said, yeah. So when I went over there, I said, but we have a song like Padlock, because Padlock was a big smasher in New York. We had produced for her. I said, you have to get about the club record. She said, boy, it's like, I'm a club record, I don't know. I said, but you can't put the album over there. If you can't go back to because Padlock was just a big hit. You have to go back with something like Padlock. So I programmed these beats now from Jamaica and put in the machine, because sometimes I sit there. So I said to her, I said, I have a machine over the hotel, over the apartment. I can bring it the next day and listen. I said, play the beat. I said, sing any song you want to sing. I said, boy, I should have a song named Rent. I said, Rent? That is big thing, man, Rent. Pocketbook style. And she laughed and I said, just sing anything. So I said, give me a minute. So the rhythm was playing. And then she said, bill collectors on my door, what can you do for me? And I said, ain't nothing going on. I said, so okay, that's it. They said, what do you mean? I said, that's it, the song. So we finally cut the song tonight and everybody was saying, because the engineer says, like, oh, you can start again. Nobody can say nothing to him. And I said, you have to come change. And I said, you have to cut the next song. I need it. And this night she listened to me and said, yes. And she called my nickname, she called me Father Goose, She said, Father Goose. I don't know, I said, but you have to sing the song and then we cut to the night and by then the A&R guy coming out from Polydor. The next morning I said, what is this? This is it. So
I think we should make people, I don't want to cut your slide, but I think we should make people hear that song because this is one of the classics from Sly Dunbar. Gwen Guthrie, musically speaking.
Nothing in life is free. That's why I'm asking you, what can you do for me? I've got responsibilities, so I'm looking for a man who's got some money in his hand. 'Cause nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You got to have something if you wanna be with me. Oh, life is too serious, love's too mysterious. A fly girl like me needs security, 'cause ain't nothing going on but the rent. You got to have a J.O.B. if you wanna be with me. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. You got to have a J.O.B. You got to have something if you wanna be with me. 'Cause life is too serious, love's too mysterious. A fly girl like me needs security. 'Cause ain't nothing going on with the rest. You got to have a J.O.B. if you wanna be with me. Ain't nothing going on with the rest. You got to have a J.O.B. if you wanna be with me. No romance without finance. I said no romance without finance.
Takes cash to care. However you put it. Gwen said no romance without no finance, you know. So there are different ways of shaping it, but that was a definite classic, Sly.
Yeah, man, it was mixed by a guy from the Paradise North called Larry Levant. He always liked the work that we have done. So we sometimes take the master tape, come to Nassau, take the master tape and remix the song. And everything, love the congos and everything, all the percussion stuff we were doing, you know. Because I've been down to the Paradise Garage a couple of times, and it was like the hit club in New York, you know. Grace was big down there, Gwen was big down there, you know. And I want to tell you something, is most of the Sly Robbie stuff is around the garage, all the crossover stuff we play, got the Mick Jagger thing, Lucky in Love and all these things. It's around the place.
We're gonna hear from Lucky in Love with Mick Jagger later on. I know a lot. I mean, Copeland Forbes, I know, is listening because he has a lot of these stories in his book. Reggae My Life is a lot of stories about you and Robbie and all of that. I know my friend Leah Kim Samaj is also listening to the program. Hail up, Doc. This is musically speaking with when we talk about legends. This is it. Lowell Dunbar, Lowell the Great, as I call him.
I was trying to find myself, you know.
No, don't. It's all right, Sly. I mean, this is greatness, musically speaking. Nothing but love, nothing but music from Lowell Sly Dunbar, the unmistakable drumming with Robbie Shakespeare on bass, Gwen Guthrie and Peter Tosh. Nothing but love. Sly, I want to hear a little bit about this project.
Oh, this project now, I think what happened is, I think there's a guy in Trinidad wrote the song, and I don't remember if Clyde took the song to Peter or somebody, and we heard it, and I think our Gwen herself took it to Peter. And we said, it's a nice song, we should cut it, so I think we just cut the song, you know?
And that was it.
Huh?
That was it. another beautiful song.
When we groove, and you see, Gwen is a person who loves reggae and she loves the dub. If you listen to The Rain, it gets sound very empty.
Yes.
Feel like the thing, it was like one of the first R&B dub record ever made.
Yes.
So all this tough sound that we're going in now, it was done so long ago.
But Peter,
so she kind of that marketplace to put the dub in the R&B, you know.
Peter was a different kind of artist, though. I mean, he was my father's favorite artist, you know. I mean,
Peter can sing, you know.
Oh, he is brilliant.
Peter can sing. Sometime on the bus, and Peter was sitting in a seat and I was singing some song. And when Robin listened, everybody said, hey, Peter sing some wicked song, you know. But it was our style, you know. Pete's style is just sing that way. And, you know, I guess everybody must have a style of projecting themselves. Or I don't think they can make it if we don't have a style.
Now, Sly, we want to talk to you a little bit about No Doubt. Because you really had an interesting project with them, which produced you laugh. It produced some beautiful hits with Jamaicans, Lady Saw and Bounty Killer. Hey, I think it went to as far as number one, if I'm not on the Billboard Top 100.
I think both songs went to number one on top party radio, which is really the two. Number one is top party radio, you know. The Billboard is a chart, like a magazine chart.
Right.
Really. A lot of people don't know, but top party radio is the number one song in America. When you hear top party radio number one, you're all over the place.
Hey, no, that I mean, tell me a little bit about that project.
the project was given to us by Brian Jobson, Wayne Jobson, they call us and says like, you know, no doubt group and they want to work it. And I said, no problem. So we went down to G Jam, cut the track and it. So when I started playing this track, Hey Baby, they got a bit scared because they figured we're gonna dismantle everything that they had done as a demo. So we listened to it and said, no. I said, no, we can just record what you have and I can put my big drums around it. So when I was sitting in one of those chairs, and so when I pull up the tape now and
That's
put
Gwen
up my drums,
Stefani.
yeah, and put up the low kick and everything, dancehall stuff, to jump up and say, wow, this is the Jeep sound. It's gonna be a hit. I say it's gonna be a hit, and put on the drums and everything, and they had everything, and Robbie sit there and start to kind of see the recording and everything, and the voice sit there, and the next song was Hey Baby. So we're thinking of Bounty Killer, some DJ to come in, but one at a time we didn't know if Bounty would make it, so we have to make a lot of calls to him and kind of convince him.
Didn't like the
Come on,
idea.
I don't know why, but then what happened now? We drove to Kingston now to do the vocals up by Norbrook, up by look at this home studio that we have. Where was the engineer? Cause was there and drove in from G-Jam, the Portland, and went in and Bounty was there. The latest I was there. Bounty did the song like in 5 minutes, he knocked it out. And Gwen said, "What? This is a number one."
So
record.
Gwen came in with you too.
Yeah. And when Bounty was, she said, "This is a number one record." I was like, "Why?" And she said she wanted to voice over her own because she loved the sound of the secret room sound, the screw. And then later, I was there waiting, and bam, later, I got a bam and lick down with a one cup. Whoop! Thing done like in half an hour, everything was over. I said, my God, what is this? It must be magic. So, they feel good about everything, and I went back to America. Song came out, bam, blew up the chart in England all over the place. Bounty was on the news. But it didn't do some shows with them because there was some kind of thing going on. I don't know. So,
yeah, I remember there was an issue, a little issue, yes.
So I remember sitting down and the Grammy was on, and they no doubt when the Grammy they came on and they said, "Big up Sly and Robbie, everybody in Jamaica." And they won a Grammy for that record, and the latest record they won a Grammy. So the only 2 Grammy they ever got is the 2 songs that we produced for them.
Wanna hear "Hey Baby" with Bounty Killer and No Doubt. Musically speaking, with the one and only Lowell Sly Dunbar, the legendary Bounty Killer, along with No Doubt. Music by the one and only Lowell Sly Dunbar, Robbie Shakespeare. What can you say about somebody like you, Lowell? It is absolutely amazing. It is just hit after hit after hit after hit. And we're not talking just about Jamaican hits. This is a true classic. Anybody who loves music will talk about it. And talking about music, I want to just tell you this evening at the Vera Moody Hall, there is a tribute concert to Karen Smith, and we should go out and support it. Jackie Jackson will be there. He was on Musically Speaking a few weeks ago. That's another Jamaican legend. And the proceeds from this concert at the Vera Moody Hall at this School of Music will be going towards a scholarship fund. And you have so many great Jamaican musicians there, including Dean Fraser, Peter Ashburn, Carlene Davis, Ernie Smith. It's an array of Jamaican musicians. My friend Harold Davis will be there. So many Jamaican acts will be there. And you need to go out and support this venture. Courtney, Karen and Jackie's daughter will be performing this evening. So we're asking you to go out there and support it. Talking to none other than the legendary Sly Dunbar. Hey Baby. That is one. And of course, from that project was also Underneath It All, right?
Lady Saw, yeah.
With the great Lady Saw. Underneath It All. Underneath It All. The great Lady Saw. And No Doubt. Music of the legendary Sly Dunbar with Robbie Shakespeare. Boy,
Yeah.
we can't stop talking about this. I mean, this is really an experience because you have had so many hit making opportunities.
The reason for this, we always think about just making hit records. You just find the formula and listen back to Motown and stuff, the Philadelphia stuff, and see how they make hit records. So, in the formula, you just go for that formula. So, we never tell ourselves that we want to miss, we want to make hit records. So, we find out there's everything in the song that is not good, we take it out. But one of the greatest part of it is the vocal performance, is the key.
No,
Because if you listen to all these vocals a while ago, all the songs I played, you the vocal performance in all of them.
but
That is
you
another key.
but you make a very important point, which is examples. You keep citing this, and I heard John FX cite this as important in the music. One of the most searing examples or searing memories I have of Sly Dunbar is not the great performances and anything. Is an experience I had many years ago. I was at Dynamic Studio with Jack Ruby. As a little youth, I go in there with Jack, and Jackie me too. And you were there. And what impressed me was that you saw Jackie me too. And I remember we go down, you call Robbie Shakespeare. You said, Robbie, come here. Jackie me too in the studio now. Jackie me too a player. And I was like, yo, but this is Sly Dunbar. Why is he so excited about Jackie Me Too? I mean, Jackie Me Too was great. I mean, we know that. But, I didn't see that in many musicians. That kind of humility, that kind of respect that, people show for other musicians in that way. Because it was clear that you were a huge fan of Jackie Me Too. And I mean, he was brilliant.
Yeah, man.
But that to me was an example, because I said, here was this man. I mean, he could be caught up in himself. I mean, he has all the accomplishments, but this was him paying tribute to a man who we felt. Why was Jackie Me Too so important to you?
Jackie Me Too know the factor of making an hit record, and he started pretty young, like maybe 15, 14, the same age I started making records, and I've listened to his works all along, and just like how he did with No No No, he took that song from, I don't know if you know the original version of No No No, that kind of bluesy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what he took it and made No 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 a big international hit. So he has a hit formula. You know how to take a song and turn it into a hit. And that's what I learned from him.
You also like to talk about Lloyd Knibbs.
Well, Lloyd Knibbs was a great drummer. He got the groove from Scatterlights with himself, Jack coming too. I mean, all the musicians in Scatterlights were great, but with Brevard Lloyd Knibbs and Jack coming too, I mean, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with them.
Now, let's play another international hit from Sly. We're talking now about his collaboration with Mick Jagger. Let's hear this one. Lucky in Love. Give me a quick one on that story there.
Well, this was taken from Mick Jagger's solo album, and he had asked us to come and play on the solo album.
That's you and Robbie.
Yeah, me and Robbie. And when we went there was this keyboard player who came in from Miami with this $50,000 keyboard player. When we started the session, there was a song we were playing, and the groove wasn't right, and then the keyboard player started looking at Robbie as myself as Stone Mongrel as the one was causing the problem, because there was so much musician around Nassau. I mean, Chic drummer, Santana drummer, everybody you could think of was there to play on this project. But so we went in and bat first. We opened up the program, and he was blaming us, looking at, but Bill Lazar, the producer, were great fans of us, a great friend, no? Bill, it wasn't us, because Bill had selected me and Robbie to do the session because he wanted a certain groove. So Yanama was there playing and he couldn't get. So Bill said, boy, I'll probably ship him. So they took him back and send Ian himself with a keyboard player back to the song. Session kick off and there was it the song was reeling up and everything like that. So we had cut 4 songs for the album, but Mick wanted us to stay, but we had to leave to go on a tour with Black. So our contribution to the album was 4 songs, The single and this one and all of these songs are playing in Paradise Garage Club.
Lucky in Love. What a song.
So this was done in Nassau.
There, so much of your history is in Nassau.
No, not really, but everybody was just going. Sometimes I go to Memphis, I might go to Muscle Souls, I go to Philadelphia to cut record because there's a sound. And look, if you look at the music, once there was dynamics on carrying the sound, it was 2 to 1. It was Motown, they go to Philadelphia, people start flying into Philadelphia to cut record. People start going to Muscle Souls to Memphis to cut record. People used to go to New York, Power Station to cut record. So sometimes certain studios just have that sound that lasts for how long and then move on to somewhere else, But Jamaica has a key factor to the world of music, but we don't know where we have it.
We don't know where we have it. Now, I mean, before we go, I want to end on Wild World.
Okay.
But that is not an original because Cat Stevens did the original.
Yeah. There's a story on that also.
No, but you're going to have to tell me another. You're going to have to tell us another time, because I tell you, Sly, it is just amazing. We can't. I mean, you think you can have Sly for 2 sessions? This one is absolute. This man is absolutely amazing. When we really talk about outstanding, brilliant, exceptional, this is it. Wild World, Maxi Priest. We're giving that version. Hard to get by just upon a smile. The music of Cat Stevens originally, but that's Maxi Priest and Sly Dunbar. Just give me a quick one on that one.
The quick one on this, Maxi didn't like the song, he didn't want to do it. But it was myself, Robbie, and Willie produced the record. He came to Jamaica for the first time, was in this record. We did it on Music Mountain. But we cut the track because we know the track, because we used to play it on bandstand in the early days, playing in bands. So we go ahead and cut the track. So he barely sang the song. I didn't like it, I don't think he did that good job, but this turned out to be a big song for him.
A big hit for him. We're going to have Sly again,
Because when he took him on tour in America for the first time, every state we went through, were in the record playing on his pop station, Wild World. So it broke out from that tour and became his first Billboard chart. It went to number 25.
Oh, that's a good thing because you see covers, and I spoke to Mikey Bennett about covers in the first Musically Speaking. It's such an important thing. Musically speaking, this is an amazing one.
But it's how you do the cover.
Yes, of course.
Right ingredients.
Right.
And then we went to make his next number 1 track, myself and Jeffrey Chung and Andel Tuck, closely went to number 1 in America. But Maxi.
Listen. We could go on and on and on, but we're going to have to talk to Sly again, Lowell Sly Dunbar, the man I call Lowell the Great. Musically speaking, what a program. We'll be back next time. Want to thank Kevin Williams. Want to thank Tristan. Want to thank Danita Doyle. Want to thank also my 9/10ths. And I think I see my sister Shireen somewhere around there. But this has been a program with the great Lowell Sly Dunbar, and we had John FX before. Wow, what a program. So much information. Thank you so much. See you next week.